my beautiful lovelies, it's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone is a language learning platform that uses an immersive, intuitive approach that uses words and images in your new language, making the learning feel natural. For over 30 years, language learners have trusted Rosetta Stone to build fluency in 25 languages. So like many people, I took Spanish both in high school and in college, but have lost much of my Spanish abilities. But I've recently been inspired to relearn it since my oldest has been taking it in school, and I thought it'd be a fun way to connect and learn together. And Rosetta Stone has been perfect because it's so flexible. Some of the lessons are as short as 5 minutes, so I can easily squeeze in lessons. Also, the Rosetta Stone app makes it super easy to take my learning on the go. It's so cool. Just 13 hours of Rosetta Stone is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. So the best way to learn a language is to immerse yourself right into it. And from the very beginning, Rosetta Stone in the very first lesson will have you speaking words, phrases, and sentences with confidence. I also really like that the lessons are designed for real life situations. For example, if you're planning a trip, you can use Rosetta Stone to practice words and phrases that you'll be using on your travels. So Rosetta Stone's true accent technology takes your spoken audio and compares it with a native speaker, giving you immediate feedback so you can really hone in on your pronunciation. Other helpful resources include phrase books, which are perfect if you're preparing for a trip, stories, and live lessons with a tutor so you can broaden your cultural knowledge. So if you're ready to cross language learning off your goals list, you can click the link down below or the QR code above to get over 60% off an unlimited language lifetime subscription to Rosetta Stone. One payment, lifetime access. Start your language learning journey today. Big thanks to Rosetta Stone for sponsoring this video so I can make better videos for all of you. Alrighty, my lovelies, today we are going to be tasting baby food, more specifically meat flavored baby foods. This whole episode was inspired by my family's recent trip to Memphis. We went to see the Memphis Grizzlies play the Boston Celtics. Terrific game. But while we were perusing the grocery aisles, which is one of my favorite things to do when I visit a new place, my son discovered these. A little jar of Gerber baby food called Lil Sticks. Have you had this before? When I shared this on social media, there were definitely strong responses, some positive and some not so much. So along with the Lil Sticks, we're also going to be tasting these, some other meat products, baby food products. It's been quite a while since any of my little ones were little enough to eat this, although this is perfectly edible for a grown person as well. So that's why we're going to be tasting them, because I'm curious. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started. Let's begin with the Gerber meat sticks. I've always loved baby food jars. Love, love, love. The glass ones in particular. I don't know how useful they are. I don't know how many nuts and bolts I need to put in the jars or buttons or whatever, but I just really, really love these bottles. Oh, that's a beautiful sound. Let's see a meat stick. Okay, here they are, packed in broth. It smells like chicken, tinned chicken, canned chicken. Doesn't smell unpleasant. Nope. Let's just right off the bat taste some of the chicken water. Itadakimasu. Ooh, salty. A lot saltier than I expected. I expected this to be very, very bland because baby food in general, in my experience, because I've always tasted my baby food before I gave it to my babies, it's always very bland, meaning not very well seasoned. I mean, back in the day, before any of this baby food existed, what we ate as babies was whatever our moms ate. Mom would chew it up and then give it to us, right? We didn't have any teeth. I mean, now you can buy it in jars. I have to confess, my kids did not eat a lot of baby food. I think my oldest ate some carrots, pureed carrots. My younger one did not like the carrots or the peas, any of that. What they did like was rice and miso soup. Like that very much. I made a lot of that. Or chicken broth with rice, mushed up. And then I did cook my own carrots and I mushed them up. But they really loved fruits too, and avocado. Oh, avocado was... Alrighty. It's been a long while though. Thank goodness. I miss sniffing their little heads, little baby heads. But that's pretty much all. And, you know, snuggling their cute little faces. That's pretty much all I miss about having a baby. Having some issue here. Okay. All right. Trying to maintain the integrity of the meat stick. Here we go. Wow. Look at that. Looks a lot like a Vienna sausage, right? I'm very curious about the texture. It says no nitrates or nitrites added. One jar is 100 calories. So let's see what the texture's like. I'm guessing it's gonna be pretty soft. Oh yeah, it has a little bit of a skin on it. It looks a lot like a hot dog. My first taste of a Lil Stick. Here we go. Itadakimasu. The skin kind of holds it together, but then it's very mushy inside. There's no bounce or kind of rubberiness that you typically get with a hot dog. And it's got a little bit more texture than a hot dog. A hot dog is very homogeneous. This has a little bit of a texture to it. It tastes a lot like you might imagine if you were to take a chicken cold cut that you would buy at the supermarket, grind it all up. It has that flavor. It's more seasoned than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be very, very bland with no salt, but it definitely has some salt in it. Just mushy and wet in the inside. And the broth tastes a bit like chicken stock. The broth is actually saltier than the meat. It's okay. I could see some kids really liking this somehow. Now, because these reminded me so much of Vienna sausages, I got myself a can of Vienna sausages because it's been a long minute since I've had one of these. I remember having these on occasion as a kid, usually when there was a power outage, and this was 89 cents at the grocery store, I believe, versus $2.69. The last time I had a Vienna sausage might be the time I made a SpaghettiOs Jello mold, and then I filled the middle of the mold with Vienna sausages. If you've not seen that video, you should definitely check it out. It's an oldie but a goodie. I'll put a link to that down below. This has 160 calories in one can, 4.6 ounces versus 2.5, so almost double. And see how these compare. These are made with chicken, beef, and pork, and they look kind of similar, suspended in that juice, right? They don't smell the same though. This smells more like bologna. And how many are in here? Oh, again, 7. Beautiful. These are much easier to extricate. Little stick, and here's the Vienna sausage. Vienna sausage has some nitrites in it. You can see that it's pink. It's used to maintain that color. Vienna sausage. Itadakimasu. Huh. Actually, the texture is quite similar. I didn't remember Vienna sausages being so mushy, but they're definitely mushy. The flavor is much closer to bologna and hot dog. Almost identical. It has a little bit of that allspice or mace flavor to it. That's just quintessential bologna flavor to me. The Lil Stick is a little bit mushier, but it has more of a texture too, a more of a granular texture, while the Vienna sausage is a little smoother. No bounce whatsoever. And definitely saltier. Not too bad if you're into bologna or hot dog. Next, let's taste some meat in a jar. I got 2 brands, Beech Nut and Gerber. And these are the beef flavor. Very different colors, right? This looks quite light to be beef. I feel like I'm showing you concealers or something. Beech Nut, similar to the chicken one. Ooh, this one smells more like beef stew. Gerber. Itadakimasu. Oh. Wow. That's terrible. Very, very soft, lightly seasoned with some salt, pretty bland, but it tastes kind of metallic, like irony. The consistency makes you think maybe it's like deviled ham or those spreadable pâtés, but the flavor is not like that. Somewhat beefy. There's not enough seasoning in terms of flavor, not a lot of complexity, no garlic, no onions, very little salt. Not particularly tasty. It's kind of what I imagine cat food would taste like. Okay, next let's try beef and beef broth by Beech Nut. Theirs looks more like chicken, but similar kind of texture. This one's a little more jello-y than pasty. I think I like the Beech Nut one a little better, but that's not saying much. This too is quite bland, but it doesn't have an irony taste. I would not know that this was beef. I would say this was chicken if I was blindfolded. It has a meaty flavor, very smooth texture, very soft, and it does have an irony aftertaste. But this one isn't metallic tasting. No seasoning whatsoever in terms of any additional flavors, very bland, and very little salt. Meat sticks were way better. So of the two, I like the Beech Nut better, but they're not very good. This time we have chicken in gravy and chicken in broth. Look at that broth. Again, we'll try Gerber first. This looks pink. It really does look like foundation or something. Wow. Okay, this one's very soft and kind of gluey and pasty, like the beef one. A little looser. Here we go. Ooh. A little better than the beef. But again, very bland, no seasoning, but very smooth texture. It's okay. Needs more salt, but better than the beef. It doesn't have a kind of iron metallic taste to it. Let's try the chicken in broth. Ooh, look at that one. That's very liquidy on top. Canned chicken smell to it. Let's taste the broth. Ooh, very plain. No salt whatsoever. The broth in the Lil Sticks was much better. Okay, there's the meat. And here we go. Ooh, although this has been pulverized, it has a kind of stringy texture to it. It's not nice on the tongue. I don't know how much babies care about texture, but this one's really gritty and lumpy. The taste is even blander. So for this one, I think the Gerber wins, both for texture and taste, but again, they don't taste very good. Lastly, I'm going to be tasting these. These are all meats in packages, and when my kids were babies, these were just starting to get very popular. And when you go down the baby food aisle these days, there's lots of these, lots of plastic packets of baby food. And I get it, super convenient. You can just give the baby one of these packets and they can just eat right out of it. But it's a lot of plastic. This brand is called Serenity Kids, and these were quite expensive. They were $3.69 each for one of these packets of 3.5 ounces of food. So these are for 6 months old or older. And I got beef and ginger, chicken, and bison. Can you believe that? Bison. Bison for the baby. These are all combinations. They're just not plain meats like the other ones. So curious to see if they're any tastier. So beef and ginger, let's see. 90 calories per pouch, sodium 35 milligrams. Doesn't smell great. This is the beef and ginger. Oh boy. Okay. Looks like a turd. It's a little bit orange in color, but I think there's some bell pepper. I'm just gonna eat it right out of the pack. Don't love that. In my opinion, it doesn't even taste very beefy. It's kind of got a starchy texture to it. A little bit bitter. Very little salt. Don't really love that. Tastes a little bit like punishment. Yeah, maybe it's the peas. I think it's the peas that are giving it kind of a starchy texture. It doesn't taste particularly beefy. Ginger, bell pepper, broccoli. I don't really taste the bell pepper nor the ginger, but I imagine kids have a more sensitive palate too, so they don't want it to make it too flavorful. But do I like this more than the chicken? I don't know. Do I like this more than the regular beef? Not really sure. Again, they're all missing salt, so they're not very tasty. The texture of this is odd. It is very smooth though, but it finishes starchy. Let's try chicken. This is just free range chicken. Oh, it has peas and carrots in it. Let's see the chicken one. Here we go. Oh, that one's kind of green, yellow-green in color. Oh, it's a little sweeter. So there is that. And it has, again, a kind of starchy texture at the end, like a starchy finish, probably from the peas, I'm guessing. This too tastes like a bit like punishment. These remind me a little bit of the pureed meals that I had for people that have trouble swallowing. So they're entire meals that have been pureed, and those are very heavily seasoned. But it makes me realize how much I enjoy chewing and how much texture is a part of enjoying a meal for me. That and astronaut food. I had a Russian astronaut food that came in toothpaste tubes. Definitely check out that one. That's an oldie. Those ones actually tasted the best of all the pureed foods I've had. These are lacking any salt, so they're not good in that sense. But you're also not chewing, so there's no texture either. But I wouldn't say that this is any better than the jar. This tastes more like vegetables than chicken. Okay, now the one that I'm most curious about is the bison. This is Bison with kabocha squash and spinach. Love kabocha squash. All right, let's see how this one looks. Ooh, that one is the darkest in color, but still a little green. All right, let's give this one a taste. Ooh, that's terrible. Oh gosh. Again, no salt whatsoever. But what is that combination of flavors? It finishes almost with like a seafoody flavor, a seafoody metallic kind of flavor. Not delicious. This one's real punishment. Wow. Kabocha squash is sweet, inherently sweet, and has a starchy kind of texture. It's beautiful. It's a orange, bright orange squash. But I might taste it in there. I don't taste any bison or meat, but I think it's been mixed with all these other things. But this one is hands down the worst. If you want to feed your kids some bison, I would just saute some bison with some onions and good stuff and just puree it yourself. I don't have the palate of a 6-month-old, so maybe your kid will enjoy this. $3.79 for one of these. Alright, my lovelies, thanks so much for watching, and big thanks to Rosetta Stone for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to start your language learning journey today, you can click the QR code above or click the link down below to get over 60% off an unlimited language lifetime subscription to Rosetta Stone. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! I wonder what the chickens will think. I'll let my kids try them first, and then we'll see what the chickens think. Oh wait, chickens eating chickens? I cannot condone cannibalism.